most everybody's familiar with the war that occurred in Bosnia between 1992 and 1995. The Serbs attacked Bosnia after it had attempted to secede from the former Yugoslavia. The most notable battle of the war was the siege of Sarajevo, the capital city of Bosnia. I was in Sarajevo in July of 2008, and the city teemed with life. However, the bullet-riddled and artillery-damaged buildings were a reminder of the carnage that had occurred there back in the mid-90s. Saw some NATO advisors there, and it reminded me of the three architects behind the genocide, Milosevic, Mladic, and Karadzic. Of the three, only one had been arrested and tried for war crimes. That was Milosevic, who's president of Yugoslavia. The other two were still living freely. After I left Sarajevo, a couple of weeks later, Karadzic was captured in neighboring Serbia. And at present, he is in his pre-trial stages at the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, according to its website. The international community had done something worthwhile by establishing this court. The United Nations had established it in direct response to the war in 1993. There were many other conflicts around the world at that time, just as there is today. But for all these conflicts where there is not a designated court, the ICC was formed in response to this. I'd heard about the ICC recently and its indictments of war criminals in Africa, but I was not sure of its particulars. It had a very broad scope, and this intrigued me. In a world where genocide continues, knowledge of this court is crucial in understanding how the international community plans to deal with these perpetrators. Now, according to my class survey, only 70% of you had not heard of the court, and 30% had some knowledge. What I will do is cover 4 points, which is where the court is located, when it was established, its purpose, and its most recent indictment and its most ambitious case. You can please go to slide 3 on the PowerPoint presentation. We'll begin by discussing when and where the court was established. In 1998, an international treaty which was ratified by 60 states came into effect. The Rome Statute was the name of that treaty, and it only binds the members of state members who had signed that treaty. The Rome Statute entered into force, though, on 1 July 2002 and established the ICC. Now it has 108 members, and the U.S. is not one of those members. It is located in The Hague in the Netherlands. It's the same country where millions of tourists visit every year to party in Amsterdam. Now, many of these tourists don't know is this is the same country that's host to a court that is attempting to bring to justice some of the world's worst war criminals. According to the ICC website, it is an independent and permanent court that tries persons accused of genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. The court has jurisdiction over any person if he or she is in the territory or citizen of a member state. It does not have jurisdiction, however, over members of persons of non-member states. What it can do, though, is if the United Nations Security Council refers a case to the ICC, then that case does not have to be binding to a member state. It can be of any state. We'll discuss this further, as this is the case with the Sudan. Also, the court can only prosecute crimes that occurred after its establishment on 1 July 2002. According to the ICC's website, it is a court of last resort. It will not prosecute if the home country is already investigating. It is also not part of the United Nations, as many may believe. Now we can see what this means in the real world. Its most ambitious case is that of Omar Bashir, president of the Sudan. Sudan is not a member of the ICC. The case had been referred to the ICC by the United Nations Security Council, as we had discussed before. Bashir refuses to comply with the ICC ruling, and he will not show to his trial. The indictment was in a direct response to the genocide that's occurring in Darfur in the west of the country. It is the first head of state that the ICC has indicted. making it its most ambitious case so far. Now, we've covered a lot of information on the ICC, and there's 4 points that I'd like to cover again. That is, when the court was established, which was the 1st of July 2002, where it is located, which is The Hague in the Netherlands, its purpose, which is to try persons accused of genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes, and its most ambitious case so far, which is that of Omar Bashir, president of the Sudan, in response to the genocide that's occurring in Darfur. Hugo Slim, Chief Scholar at the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue in Geneva, believes that there is much hope for this court. Now, with the basic understanding of this institution, I hope that you can better understand its importance and subsequent hope for the international community.